And Skip Bayless, who I think every email that was waiting for us in the chat room was waiting to hear what you had to say.
It went up in powder. Right? Where did it go? Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't do that to poor Jay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Saturday, gentlemen, if we can. I know you're probably salivating a little bit here, Skip.
Hi,
Skip, how you doing?
LeBron did not shake hands with the Magic or address the media after the game. Shake hands. LeBron did not. He did talk yesterday, though. Finally, take a listen to some of what he had to say.
Have you talked to Dwight? I mean, you didn't shake hands with anybody last night, but have you talked to him to congratulate him or no?
No, I haven't. I sent him an email last night, congratulate him. But one thing about me, guys, you got to understand, it's hard for me to congratulate somebody after you just lose to them. I mean, I'm a winner. It's not being a poor sport or anything like that. But if somebody beats you up, you're not going to congratulate them on beating you up. That don't make sense. It don't make sense to me. I'm a competitor, and that's what I do. It don't make sense for me to go over and shake somebody's hand.
He says it's not about being a poor sport. A lot of people would disagree out there from comments I've seen. What's your reaction?
Scoop, I, for one, was not at all surprised by this. This was, to me, the real LeBron James. This is who he is, and to me, who he has been. This is the spoiled brat product of those billions of witnesses out there. This is the guy I've been talking about as he's been the front-running bully all year long, and he finally got punched right in the mouth, and he ran to the locker room in shame. I have been saying for months on this show that all this picture-taking and the posing and the flexing, it just doesn't show any class to the game on the court or to his opponents, to me. And it finally all caught up with him because I think the MVP suddenly realized when the clock ran out that he had failed miserably. And I thought it showed even less class to duck the media after the game than to duck Dwight Howard's handshake, because he left the guys he had called all along his complimentary players to face the music after the game. No class there and no class on the court didn't surprise me.
Well, see, I can understand that. I think this is a situation where if you're looking at somebody's character, they always say you judge them how they handle defeat as opposed to how they handle victory. And in this situation, for LeBron to say, for us to know him is to know that he doesn't like losing and shake somebody's hand doesn't make sense. Well, I think in his career so far, there have been 4 times I think he's been in the playoffs, and he hasn't been to the finals, so he has not won his last game. Unless we go back and somebody shows me proof that he's consistent in doing this, then I don't have a problem with it. If he never stood or shook hands with the Celtics after the game, after they lost last year, cool. If he did the same thing in San Antonio a couple of years ago, he was in the finals, cool. But we know that didn't happen, so we're not making a big deal out of nothing. This is something, and this goes into his character, which I think is not, it goes to what you've been saying, this goes to something I never wanted to believe. And his action and then his response to try to justify his action leads me to believe that there's something about LeBron James that we're either discovering or something that has to change, because I don't mind ducking the media, Skip, but Dwight Howard is supposed to be your friend. Not only did you win a gold medal together, during the All-Star games, you all are cool with each other. You joke, shooting half-court shots before games. As your boy, as your friend at least, give him a pound and then walk off the court. The media is one thing, but if that's your guy, at least acknowledge what, because this isn't about competition.
Wish him luck in the next round.
Yeah, whatever. Anything that comes with some type of human connection, because it's not about competition, it's about acknowledgement at this point. And the fact that he didn't acknowledge somebody that he knows that is supposed to be his friend, that's what I have a bigger problem with.
For the record, the Cleveland Plain Dealer said he didn't shake hands after the Celtics.
I was going to say, a lot of people have written in and said he didn't shake after the Celtics.
But I know for sure that he and Tim Duncan did have a conversation after that, and Tim, they shook hands after outside the locker room.
But LeBron used as his excuse here, I'm a winner. I don't think he's a winner. I ask you again, what has he won?
He wasn't a winner in this series.
That's what I'm saying, but he hasn't won anything in 6 years now, to the point that I don't see that he has winners' intangibles, the know-how, the will to make it happen when it's time to happen in the fourth quarters of these games. And we'll get to this later, but in 5 of the 6 fourth quarters, I thought he was awful when it was Kobe-Michael time. And in the end, I think he's a one-man show in a team sport. and it's very hard to pull that off.
A lot of people are weighing in on what you guys are saying. Ray from Texas says LeBron has to face humility after dancing, prancing, and posing, blowing out teams. He has to be humble and shake his opponent's hands after a loss. When he did talk with the media yesterday, he also addressed his future in Cleveland, and I'll point out, you saw it before, he was wearing his Yankees hat, and I'm pointing it out because there's all that speculation about LeBron going to the Knicks. Here's what he had to say about his future.
I've always expressed the simple fact that I love playing here. The fans were great. Have always been great. Like I said before, since I was an 18-year-old kid. Losing this series doesn't affect the way that I will continue to approach the game here in Cleveland.
What does this say about his future with Cleveland, Skip? Or what do you infer from it, I should say?
What spoke the loudest to me wasn't what he said, but what he wore. His Yankee cap on top of his head said to me, Scoop, I am out of here, and here we go again, because I don't have enough help. I want to get to the big city and the bright lights. He had the audacity, after he had let down the city of Cleveland, to wear the cap of his favorite team when his favorite team just happened to be playing the Indians in Cleveland.
Maybe that's why he was wearing it.
Okay, well, I got no use for that. I got no respect for that. And again, I think he wanted to remind Cleveland fans, you're lucky to have me. And if I were a Cleveland fan today, honestly, I would have lost a lot of respect for him, and I would find it hard to go forward rooting for LeBron James. And part of me, and maybe a big part of me, would say, in the end, I don't really care whether he stays here or not.
That's a tough one, because if you look at the history of Cleveland, they've always needed something. So this has always been win or not win. In this situation, it's been some type of element of bright light for the city, because, I mean, come on, they don't have too much to deal with anyway. I don't think they want to run LeBron James out of town. But at the same time, I think this is a problem for Cleveland management. I've always been one of the persons that believed, I've always looked at LeBron and his aesthetics as far as basketball are concerned. And everything he did was in the best interest of basketball. And I think winning is one of the things I've always attributed to him as something that he wanted to do. Whether he's a winner or not, that's something he wanted to do. So the going to New York situation never resonated with me because it didn't make any basketball sense. But after watching this, I don't know in his mind that he thinks they can do anything. And I don't think the organization thinks they can do anything, because they thought they did the right thing by bringing Mo Williams in, and it looked good during the regular season, it looked good during the playoffs, then it wound up blowing up in front of their face. What does the organization do now to try to make themselves better and not have that blow up in their face again? Now, from LeBron, if he goes to New York, then it does something again that I didn't think he would do. It means that what he's doing has nothing to do with basketball. Because going to New York is not going to make you win anymore. You have a better chance of winning possibly in Cleveland, or at least winning more. So this whole thing is making me possibly look at LeBron a little differently, because if this is like you said, wearing the Yankees cap, saying what he's saying, acting the way he's acting, and happening what happened this weekend where everybody got caught by surprise, they didn't expect this, then he is beyond basketball now. It's about more than basketball, and I never thought I'd say that about LeBron James, because I always thought he was strictly, every decision made was about winning and in basketball.
All right, but the point is, he knows exactly what statement he's making wearing the hat, and it's the wrong time. If you're a Cleveland fan, you've got to be offended by it then.
I agree with it, but the timing this time. The timing this time makes me agree with you on this one.
That does it for this